Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I'm up early to catch the sunrise and talk about my nearly 5-year-old Jeep JLU Rubicon Recon Edition with the 2.0 liter turbo 4-cylinder. You might wonder, how reliable can a small turbo engine in an overweight JLU really be? After 75,000 miles of overlanding, trail days, and daily driving, it's held up surprisingly well. For a tech-heavy engine and a rugged, heavy platform, it's been a dependable rig that's handled everything I've thrown at it so far. Stay tuned, I'll break down all the mods on the Jeep and everything new I've added over the last year. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning. As you saw, the sunrise was perfect. No clouds in the sky. It's going to be hot today. That's why I'm out here early. I don't want to be out here in the 90, 95 degree weather. So we're out here early. Today's video is about the Jeep. It's a 2020 JLU Rubicon Recon Edition. Now, I've done, I think, 2 videos way back 3-4 years ago about what that means, and I'm gonna put a thing up here that says where you should go watch the video. I think I've done a good job of explaining that this was not the Recon package. This is before the Recon package. It's got a little badge on the side that says Recon Edition, which gave it some stickers and some red seat belts, a different dash, the leather dash instead of the colored dash, and on and on. And in the beginning, people didn't understand, and I'm still not sure people completely understand that I was never claiming that this was a Recon package on my Rubicon. This is a Recon Edition, which came before the Recon package, years before, in fact. Had to do with a video game. But today's about what we've put on the Jeep, what's still on the Jeep, and what's newest on the Jeep since the last time I did a video. We've obviously got the James Brood Evo tent on the top. Also got the 90-degree Iron Man awning on here. That's been about 2 years on. The tent's been 4 years on. We're going to do a video about the tent all by itself, and with that one we'll do a review of the tent and the awning. But what have we done to the Jeep? We'll start in the front here. Folks, I haven't done much to this. There's like 3 minor modifications. I took the end caps off the factory steel bumper. I love the steel bumper. It's heavy duty. It's a little heavy, but I do like it. It's rugged. I put the Warn winch, the VR10S Evo, on. This is probably one of the, maybe the second thing I ever did to the Jeep was do the winch. With this bumper, you had to buy the winch plate, which it's designed to fit all that. And I love the look and I love functionality. I've never used my winch in 4 years, guys, which means I'm either lucky or smart or really lucky or lucky. Because I haven't even come across somebody else that needed me to help them with the winch, which is generally speaking what people say they use their winch for most of the time, and I haven't even come across that. In fact, all my buddies, Chris and Sandy and Mark we're talking about just doing some practice with these things, just because none of us have used our winches. It's just one of those things where you don't get a lot of use out of the winch, but it's something that if you're going out alone or you're going out even in a group, somebody needs to have recovery ability, and a winch is one of the main pieces of equipment for recovery. So one of the first things I put on. I also put a Factor 55 flat link on. I'll put prices. The price for the flat link is here. They now have, since I bought this, right after I bought this, in fact, or right as I bought this, they came out with their hook system. I can't remember the name of it specifically. Much more robust. Great system, very expensive. Since I've never used my winch, I don't think I'll change it out. I think I'll leave this flat link on there. It'll work just fine if ever there comes a time. One of the other things I've done is the yellow lights. Now, these are not replaced fog lamps. These are the factory fog lamps. Never had to replace them, never changed them out. They're just tinted. I put yellow tint on them, and that works great. It gives me that amber light in fog and dust. Minor addition to the bumper is obviously the antenna, the bull bar, heavy duty antenna for my radio, which we'll talk about when we get inside the Jeep. And the only other thing up front, the front end is totally stock. Everything underneath is stock, suspension wise. However, when I got the death wobbles, I had to replace, I didn't have to, it was one of the things I decided to replace was the steering stabilizer. And I went with Falcon because I went with the whole Falcon shock system. So let's go around the front here and we'll talk about wheels, tires, and suspension. So the tires. So I put 10,000 miles on the 33-inch tires on the stock wheels. So then I went and bought the Icon Rebound wheel. I don't remember the offset. I don't remember the specifics on the wheel itself. For 5 of them, it was about $1,400, give or take, taxes. Then after 10,000 miles on the 33-inch tires, I went and bought the 35-inch tires, same tires. I love the BF Goodwrench KO2s. So I stuck with those. And this is actually my second set of 35-inch KO2s, and the first set lasted right at about 50,000 miles. I changed them out, I think it's 62, so 52,000 miles. A lot of miles on the original set, this being the second set now, and I've got about 12,000 miles on these now. I love the KO2, very versatile, very tough, rugged. I did get a slash in one of mine and replaced it. Never went flat on me, never left me stranded or never made me change it, but it did get a slash on the sidewall, enough so that I went and had it replaced. Other than that, traction's been great where I go. People say they're not great snow tires. I haven't wheeled in snow, but very little in Big Bear. So not a real factor for me. Actually, I just absolutely love the whole look of the wheels and tires. So I've been very happy with that all along. We blew one of the Fox shocks, which was a bummer. I really enjoyed that lift. It was good. I would review it as a very high quality lift and budget lift. So I bought the Falcon SP2 3.3 fast adjust front and rear shocks. It's called a Piggyback system. I love it. I put them on myself. There's an install video you can watch. It's not really an install video. It's not a how-to for sure. It's more of a, here I put them on and here's what happened. Had some follies as always, but learning experience, good experience. I haven't really figured out exactly all the adjustments yet. I'm still working on that. I think that's it for the suspension and wheels. I'm not gonna go all the way around all four. They're all the same. So let me take you up to the front window here. All right, so my Gravity Pro 6 LED single pack. I bought these at Expo West 2022. It took me about a year, maybe even a year and a half to install them. And when I first installed these, I had them down on the bumper, had to take the bull bar off, in fact, to be able to mount them where I thought I wanted them down there. And it turns out I really missed the little tiny bull bar, even though it's not a functional bull bar. I like the look. And I didn't find that they were very helpful down there. It was too low. The light was too low. They weren't amber. If they were amber, I would have been fine with them down there, but they're not. So I went ahead and about 2 years ago, remounted them, moved them up from the bull bar area on the front bumper, bought the KC mount brackets, and put them up here. And I love them up here. I think the look is better, and the functionality is better for the white light. So yeah, my Pro 6s, I love them. Do I need a full Pro 6 bar? I don't think so. I think this is plenty of light. I don't do a ton of night wheeling. I did a little bit of night wheeling coming out here. It's more like early morning wheeling. And they work great. And that's enough of a job of lighting up the trail for me that I don't think I need the whole bar. And I'm not really prepared to spend the $3,500 for the whole system up here. So these are working great for me, and I think they're going to stay here. And I think this is all I'm going to need as far as lighting goes. There's really only one thing on the side of the Jeep here, and I'll talk about it now, and that is the stock Mopar. These are the heavy-duty rock sliders. And I got to tell you, they've taken some abuse. A lot of people say they're not heavy-duty enough for actual rock crawling. I don't do a lot of rock crawling, but I can tell you that I've done some. And I've slammed down on a couple rocks pretty hard on them.
Where was that? It's right there.
I totally didn't see it. I should probably stop talking.
Oh.
You can see it right here if you look underneath. Oh, that's cool. No, you went up. I was like, what's he doing? I didn't mean to hit it.
There's been very little damage, just some scratching on them. So, you know, if your Jeep comes with them and you don't do a whole lot of rock crawling, they're pretty much adequate for just a beginner or someone who just doesn't do a whole lot of rock crawling. So I recommend them. You can pick them on the options. I would pick it every time, and I really enjoy them. And I like the way they look. They're very sleek. They don't look like a whole lot, and they still can be used as a little bit of a step stool. So there's that as well. All right, we're going to move all the way to the back, and we'll talk about what we've done on the back of the outside of the Jeep, and then we're going to move inside the back of the Jeep. So hang on a second. All right, so the back is pretty stock. I mean, there's not a whole lot that we've done. I've kept the steel bumper, only a slight modification to the steel bumper, and I kind of like it, gives it character. What do you guys think? Should I replace it or should I leave it? I'm just kidding. It's going to get replaced eventually. I really just don't have any urgency to replace it. The only thing that does not work is the light for the license plate. Honest to goodness, I don't do a lot of night driving. This morning I was out at dark. First time I've been after dark in this thing in quite a while. Other than the light for the license plate, everything still works. The sensors still work. And I'm okay with the aesthetic, if you will. I don't have to fix it in my mind. When it's time and when I have the money, I'll probably put something lightweight on it, a little bit more sleek. But for now, I love the safety. I love the protection that the steel bumper gives. Clearly it's rugged. It held the entire weight of the Jeep for a moment and then bent just a little bit, but heavy duty. Anyway, the only thing I've actually added to the rear of the Jeep are the Cyclone V2 lights with the amber lenses, and I use them for trail lights. Amber works great because it cuts through the dust and or whatever, and allows the people behind you. If you've ever been on a trail, a dusty trail, and been behind somebody else, you can't see them. It's just a wall of dust. It's just like driving through heavy fog. And I've used them driving up the mountain before, but also on the trail you want to turn these on so that people can see through the dust. And the amber cuts through dust and fog a lot better than regular white light does. So yeah, that's the only thing I've installed. Did an install video on that as well. You can go check that out. But let's check out the inside, because there's a few things that I've done, and we'll talk about what system I do use and what I've never done. The first thing, EAG table, about $100 I believe, and has done me no wrong. I like it. It's stood the test of time. I've had this for 3 years. It's missing one clip. I use it to prep. I don't use it when I'm cooking dinner, so it doesn't get in the way of the fridge when dinner time comes around and I'm pulling food out of the fridge. This doesn't really come down for dinner. It works great for when I'm making a sandwich for lunch. Just enough space to go ahead and do that. So I leave it here. I love it. It is used and it works pretty well. So rear interior, I've done quite a bit of modifications. Actually, I built a platform out of plywood and cheap carpet from Home Depot. Bolted it in place with the existing bolts for the factory flooring. I mounted an Iceco fridge slide to that panel. I put it on this side because of the design of the fridge. A lot of people have been like, why didn't you put it over there where everybody else puts it? Well, frankly, after thinking about it for a long time and trying to decide which side to put it on, I chose this side because of the design of the fridge, the way the lid opens, where the controls are, and where the venting system is for the compressor. You want plenty of good venting for the compressor. They're designed with great vents, and if you cover them up, you're basically damaging your fridge. So I took all that into consideration when I decided to mount it on this side. So hopefully that answers a lot of people's questions as to why it's over here. At the same time I built the platform and put the fridge slide on there, I also bought and mounted this shelf. I don't remember. I've looked everywhere. I do not have the name of this shelf. I'm sorry. It was right around 90 to 110 as I recall on the price, and I know I got it off Amazon. So if you search Wrangler JLU rear shelves, you'll find 150 of them, maybe 150,000 of them, not really, but you'll find a bunch of them, and pick one that you like, because I think that they all are functional. They all do great. This is a great shelf for the price. I've taken this in and out no less than 50 times to use the Jeep for other things. So in and out installation, removal is all really quick and easy. Less than 10 minutes out, less than 10 minutes back in. I love this shelf. It's sturdy, rugged, holds everything I needed to do. Never had a problem with it. Good purchase. I've never put a shelf system in. Goose gear is expensive. I'd love a little bit of goose gear. It's quality, so I'm sure it's worth the money. It's just really, really expensive. So I've never done goose gear or any other brand of shelving. I've looked at them. But what I ended up going with a long, long time ago, 3 and a half, 4 years ago, not right when I started, but shortly thereafter, within a year, went to this system here, and it's called the Craftsman Trade Stack. They still, after 3 years, let's just say it was 3 years ago, they still sell this to this day online at Lowe's. There's two bins here. They attach to each other. I'll pull them out and explain that. But they hold all of my cooking gear. One of the bins is very specifically for the jet boil system and the gas green cans and that stuff. Then another bin is for all the cooking utensils and pots and pans. And then the top ones are for toiletry stuff, and the other one is for miscellaneous lights. They just slide out. When you get to camp, you just pull them out, depending on what's in them. They're not terribly heavy. And what happens is you just push the red button, and they come apart. And now you've got, this is called the suitcase. That's about 35 bucks. Yeah, about 35 bucks with tax, plus tax. And this is the medium-sized bin. There's actually a bigger one. These just happen to fit perfectly stacked under my shelf. So that's why I went with this one. They have one bigger. There's a couple other versions of the same idea. They're very rugged. I kick them around in camp. When I get done using them, if I don't need to put them away, I pick them underneath the Jeep, and they store away just like that in camp. If I'm worried about animals, I'll throw them back in the Jeep, close up the Jeep at night when I sleep. But they've been great. Again, very rugged. They fit perfectly in my system here, and they hold everything I need them to hold. So, and again, fairly cheap, 35 and 45 respectively, and they stack up and fit perfectly. There's two of the big ones, two of the small ones, and that's what I use. The only other item I use to pack into back here is the Trunk Crate Pro. It's great. I fasten it in with a bungee cord so it doesn't go anywhere. And there's wipes, there's gloves, there's this is where the kitchen utensils go with that I showed you in the last video. A lot of dry goods fit in here. This is a really big container and actually expands to twice this size. And I put my breads, dry goods go in here, and it works perfectly. It's very accessible. It holds things in place. And I've had this for 4 years, and I've got two of them. I use the one, and it works perfectly for what I use it for. So that's pretty much it for the back. That's where I put the fridge, dry goods, all of my camping, cooking gear and some other gear go in the bins instead of a drawer system, and it works perfectly well. The only other thing I've got going on in this Jeep is the driver's area. I've got a mounting system that I'll show you next, so hang in there and we'll just come on around. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys in the Jeep is the driver's compartment and what I've done up here. Not a lot, but this is kind of the business end of the Jeep, really. So the first thing I did early on was I bought a 67 Designs rail. It's a Series 55 rail. It's aluminum, and it mounted very quickly and easily up here on the dash. And it has a slide system where you buy the balls that slide on there, and you can put as many things as you want on here that'll fit. I've got 3 arms coming off. I love the iPad mount right here. It's perfectly accessible to me and or a passenger. It does not get in the passenger's way. The passenger has full leg room when this is configured for a passenger. I put my maps up here. I use Gaia and I use Onyx. And then the other mount that I have, and that is a Bulletpoint mount. I had a Bulletpoint mount for the iPad, but on extremely rough roads, it would pop off, it would fall out. So I bought just recently on Amazon, I'm not gonna pronounce it right, a Lean Congrui mount. And it's very, very solid. It screws down and holds this thing. I just have been on dirt, what, 3 times now? On trails 3 times. Some rougher than others, and this thing is solid, like solid. And that's a testament to the mount itself, but it's also a testament to the whole system, which is a mutt. It's a hybrid. It's 67 Designs and it's Bulletpoint and their arm systems and their ball mount system. The last thing that I have from Bulletpoint is their GoPro mount arm, which the GoPro I use for all the front-facing video, obviously. The phone mount is to have my phone directly in front of me, but when you see the shots of me driving, it's from this mount right here, and it works out perfectly. So one of the only other things I've done, I installed a Voswitch JL400. It's the 4-button system that Voswitch has. They have an 8-button system. But this is all I need. I don't have a lot of lights. I just don't. What I really love about this is it integrates into the hand rail here, the hand hold. And you don't even know it's there. You don't know this is here. If I didn't tell you it was here, you'd take you a week driving this Jeep to notice that it was there probably. Maybe not, but it's great. It's exactly what I need. It's got power right here. I can turn the power on and off to the entire system right here. And I just love it because it's so nonchalant. There's no extra box. It fits right there. It's perfect. The last item today is the radio that I installed in the cab here with the handheld that has all the controls on it. Love it, love it. Replaced my handhelds. You should always have handhelds. I actually gave my handhelds to my buddy. But it's a good idea to keep handhelds as well so you can pass them out to friends who don't have radios that are mounted inside their vehicles. I enjoy the hard-mounted radio, and it's the Midland MXT 275 15 watt, which is the smaller radio, but it does everything I need a radio to do. We tested it after the install. There's a video of the install you can go back and watch. But during the testing of that, I got perfectly good signal from about 3 miles away with the buddy Mark. So it works as much as I need it to work. I don't need any more than what it does for me. So 74,155 miles, all either highway or off-road. Very little city driving on these miles, and no problems, guys. Not a single, nothing. And I'm jinxing it by continuing on about how reliable this Jeep has been for me, and it's never left me stranded. And our Jeep's horrible vehicles, I'm gonna tell you, my experience is, no, they're not horrible. They're very reliable. If you get a lemon like any other car, you get a lemon. Do Jeeps have more lemons than other brands? Maybe. But this Jeep right here has been nothing but reliable. I don't know that there's been any real major issues with the 4-cylinder turbo. I'm not sure. It's a quality turbo, and how do you go wrong with 4 cylinders, right? I mean, but anyway, it's just been a really good Jeep. wear and tear wise, mileage wise, it's just never done me wrong. So I love my Jeep. I'm affectionately naming my Jeep today. It's been a long time coming. I'm not the type of person that names my cars or my Jeeps, but it's going to be affectionately known as Allegiance from here on out. Why it took me so long to come up with that, seeing as how this is Overlanding Allegiance, it makes perfect sense. I'm overlanding my Jeep, so my Jeep's name is Allegiance. Hey, if you like what you see on this channel, if you're enjoying the videos, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button, all the things. It's all free and helps this channel immensely. I'm struggling with what to put on Patreon. There is a Patreon page. If you want to go look at it, great. There's a few things there that you could see that I don't think I've put anywhere else. They're inside other videos. The clips that I've put there, the blooper reels, they're in other videos that are on YouTube. But, you know, unless you watch every second of every video, you're never going to catch all the funny little bloopers. So I'm putting some bloopers there, and we'll see what I do elsewise. Anyway, thank you for liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell button. And for those that have subscribed in the last month, I have jumped from 800 subscribers to 1,100 and something in less than a month. So thank you. That's insane to me. Incredible. I met the threshold of 1,000. One of my goals for a long time, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. I'll keep putting out videos that you hopefully enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next video.